want to welcome everybody. It's July 4th, and I want to wish you all a happy 4th of July. I hope you guys you have big plans and fun family times and great food. Jarrett said he's got a 50-pound brisket he's going to cook for everybody that's in attendance today. So if you give a thumbs up for it, you got it. No, it's really good. Hey, I'm pretty excited about today. You know, I guess we can all use a little organization. I think that's going to be right up the alley what Jarrett's got to talk about today. So without further ado, Jarrett, it's all yours, man.
Awesome. Thanks, Warren. So we're going to talk about SportsYou today. I'm going to share my screen here, and it won't let me do that. It says it's been disabled. Host disabled, screen sharing.
In 1 second, we'll get it.
No problem.
Use it with the headphones.
Jarrett, I'm just going to make you host, and they'll allow you to do it. For whatever reason, it's disabled for me, too.
No problem.
All right, you got it.
Awesome. So SportsYou has been incredible for my program. It's really helped us out a lot with the organization, especially during the shutdown and stuff like that. So it's an app or a website that connects coaches, players, and the families. It's all on one platform. It allows you to put your calendar, your messages, photos, videos, documents. So much information is available to put on there for everybody to see. It was super helpful during this whole school year, like I talked about, but it was a lifesaver as soon as we had to stay home after spring break. And the best part about it is it's free. You don't have to pay anything. It's really good there. So overview of a couple things that we're gonna touch on today. Creating and getting people to join a team or a group, the team versus group aspect, what the difference is. Importing, exporting a calendar, the team photographer for photo uploads, file uploads. There's a poll function and a chat function. So we're going to go through all of those things, give you a quick overview, and then at the end, if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to help with any specifics or anything like that. So the great thing about SportsYou too is it's really good on the computer, but it's just as good on the app or your mobile device. So it's very mobile friendly. You can do everything through the app. As the person that sets it up, as the coach, it's easier to set everything up first from the computer. I found that it's just easier to have a mouse and do all that stuff. But as far as the computer versus mobile device, they're both seamless and it works really well on either one of those. So creating a team or a group, if you look at it, we're going to go to SportsYou right now and show y'all a couple different things. So if you go right here on when you create a profile, you log in and all that stuff, it's just the normal create, put your email in, password, all that stuff. And when you finally do that, you'll have a screen that looks something like this. So we're going to create a group today. We're going to name it TASCO Region. We'll name it TASCO Region 3. And we're going to choose our sport, which is soccer. And so we're going to create that group. And so after you do that, it brings you to this add members page. We're going to talk about that here in a second. So we're going to skip that for now. But when you create all this stuff, it gives you a couple different solutions on whether you're going to have a team or a group. I'm going to go through the difference between a team and a group right now. I have mine set up where I have my teams, my specific teams like varsity, JVA, or JVB set up as teams. And then my groups are set up with like my parent group or my just group for general information. So a team, admins and coaches, you have to approve the post. So you just don't have anybody posting everything randomly. They can post something, but if you think it's good to be posted, you approve it. If you think it's something you don't want up there, you don't have to approve it. Members are either coaches, admins, players, or family. And it does a really good job of separating that. You'll have your coaches, you'll have your players, and then if family members join, like parents, it shows that they're family members off to the side. Only admins can start a team chat, and players or family can't, and they can't message each other individually. Now, for me personally, I've changed some of these settings. I've allowed some things to be different. Like I've allowed players to chat with me personally and start chats. I changed that in the team settings, but this is the default of way they're set up. So when you go over to groups, the big difference is you don't have to approve posts. Anyone can start a group chat, and players or family can message each other individually. Again, all these settings can be changed. I did for the parent group, just because parents sometimes like to get on there and type a bunch of stuff. I changed it to where I approve the post personally for the parents, just to make sure that we're still kind of in control of everything going on. So that's the nice thing about this app, is it puts you in complete control of what's being pushed and what content is on there. You can agree to have something published or not. So joining a group or team, a while ago when we created that, you saw there was an access code. It's so simple to get people to join. So on that access code, you can either print out like a PDF flyer, you can post it on Twitter, Facebook, anything like that. All they have to do is download the app, and then they put in their little code, and it puts them in the class for you very easily. What I do is when I have my parent meeting, I print out a bunch of these flyers for just to hand to the parents and have them sign up that way. This kind of replaced Remind for me, and it allows me to communicate so easily with my parents. With my kids, with my players, we just, like, first day of school, everybody get out your phones. Here's the access code, sign up for this group. So it's so easy to join. There's not really a headache with any of that. You just hand them the flyer and say, here's the access code. It tells you how to do it versus the app and versus the website. Super easy. If you want to just have like kind of like a fan page, you can post it to Twitter or Facebook, anything like that, and they can sign up that way as well. So another great feature about this is, me personally, I do all my calendaring through Google. It allows you to import your Google Calendar. And what's really nice, it has a feature, if you change something in Google, it will update in SportsYou automatically. I'll show you how to do that here in a little bit once we get through some of this, but it's so cool that you can just put it all in your Google Calendar, and then it automatically refreshes at SportsYou. And the other thing is, if you wanted to go the opposite direction and put everything in SportsYou, you can export it to Google as well. And it would, they sync up really well. I haven't had an issue with them syncing ever. And it's a great thing, because now the parents have one place to go to the calendar on SportsYou, and they can see when games are, when practices are. They have everything, and you can separate it by team. You can separate it by, games, practices, etc. So importing, exporting, I think, is a huge feature of the calendar for SportsYou. It's streamlined, and I think that's what we're all trying to accomplish here, is trying to make our life a little easier. So another cool one is the team photographer. So we all have that amazing parent, hopefully, that takes all these great photos on the sideline. The problem sometimes is getting that shared easily for everybody to access to. I know in the past people have, shared to like sound or to some photo sharing sites and stuff like that. When you designate a team photographer, they actually can go in and upload these directly to the parent group. And we had a parent do this last year, and it was awesome because we had so many awesome pictures, and they were all in one place. And so the parents could see them, the kids could see them, and it was just an amazing thing to be able to have it all centrally located for everybody to see. And it wasn't like we need a password for this because they're already a member of that group. And you can have multiple team photographers. You just have to basically just kind of click a box and make them have the privileges to upload stuff. So file uploads are really awesome too. I'll show you all here in a second some other cool things I've done with the file uploads, but you can upload documents, PDF, videos, just about anything. I've posted YouTube videos. I've posted huddle highlights and shot charts, many other items. The awesome thing about it is you can ask the athletes for feedback as well. There have been several times this year where I would post like a little short clip of like a professional game, and I'd say, what are your thoughts on this situation? And then I would get comment after comment talking about what they thought about a specific situation. It's really good for feedback. And something else that was really cool is with it is we started getting the players talking to each other about situations, and it wasn't always just coach driven. It was more player talking and commenting on situations that we've thrown up there. So the polls are great for me, especially as a girls coach, because I can, like, we always have situations where we're like, hey, what do you want to wear for game day attire? Because we have so many solutions. And I'm usually there as like, I really don't care what you wear. Just make sure we're professional and all dressed alike. And so you'll have 3 say, you know, I want to wear this, and another 3 say, I want to wear that. Well, all I do is I put a poll up on SportsYou the day before, and they take a poll, and then it's decided, and it kind of gives them ownership in what they want to wear or any other situation. And it was a really easy way to make decisions and have the team feel like they were being heard and it was their decision. So the polls have been great. The chat function, this is one of the biggest reasons why we use this, is because Remind is what we used to use, and it was really hard always to reply to people, and it's kind of clunky sometimes, and you couldn't specifically, it was hard to go in and pick specific people. You could do it. It was just a lot of steps. With SportsYou, you can message people, you can do a group chat, you can message everybody. You can type up one message and you can click JVA, JVB, varsity, parent group, and click those dots, and it'll send that one message to everybody. Or you can get even more specific and say, I just want to send this to, you know, my forwards. Here's a message for just my forwards with some information. So you click on those people and you send it. There's a couple ways you can restrict chats if that's a concern for anyone. If that's something that you're worried about, just, you know, message me and we'll go through how to restrict each chat. It's much easier to use than Remind, in my opinion. It's been a game changer for us. We've really enjoyed using it. So let's go back over here to our SportsYou. So if you look, this is the new SportsYou we just added. Let's say afterwards you want to add some people to your SportsYou. You go and you click on the right, you can just add members. And here's that PDF I was talking about, and it will download, and you have it right here. And it's the access code, tells you how to join from the website or the app. Very simple, very simple. So for me, how I have set it up, as you can see over here on the left side of my screen, I have a JVA, a JVB, and a varsity team. I'm also a member, because our school uses it for some stuff as well, also a member there. But if I click on my varsity, you can go through and you can see, you know, we've kind of used this extensively, and my assistant coaches have posted, we've posted stuff. It's done really well for us. So when you click on the calendar over here, I'm trying to slow down, I'm going a little fast, sorry guys, but you click on the calendar, you can see, to go back to when we actually had something, when I'm in the varsity, it shows just my varsity stuff. If I go to calendar over here on the left, you have the option of showing every class calendar that you're in. So we go back to March, it looks a little busy and stuff, but it shows every single event. Now, if I wanted to get more specific, I could just lose, and I just want to see what's happening with my JVB. It loses those, and it shows you exactly what's going on for each team. And so when parents are looking at this too, they're not going to see the 8 different things on the calendar. They're only going to see the calendar they're subscribed to. And so you can subscribe to these calendars, which is nice too. So once the parents get involved in SportsYou, then go to their calendar, then get subscribed, and they can download this directly to their Apple iPhone or something along those lines with an iCal. And so that's really nice too, and it will update on their phone automatically for you. So it's really easy for them to always have it on their phone, so they don't necessarily have to log into SportsYou. So that's a really another nice thing about the calendar calendar option here. So if we go to groups, so a group is how I set up my parent group. So on groups, we're over here in our little thing, and you can send everything to your parents directly through this. I've sent fundraiser information. I send stuff about senior night. I've sent stuff about just information during this whole shutdown. It's been really easy to stay in contact. And it's really easy for the parents, if they have a quick question, to just send you a message instead of having to go through email or something like that. This parent group has been awesome for us. I was talking about the photo uploads earlier. So we had, we created albums, and you had like each individual thing. So like this is an example of one of our games in the I-10 shootout. Parents took a bunch of photos, uploaded them here, and now all the parents can see them. All the kids have access to them. It's really, really, really cool feature for the kids to be able, and the parents to be able to see, you know, the pictures and great action stuff that have been taken care of. So another cool thing that I did with my varsity is, you know, we would post things like these shot charts, and I'd say, look at these charts. This is the shots for the years. What do you notice? Chart 1, it would say percentage of times we score from a given location. Chart 2, where we take our shots. Chart 3, location of all shots. And chart 4, location of opponent shots. And by posting that, like early in the day, I could post this to their wall, I guess you would call it. And then when they came in for 7th period soccer, they had already been kind of thinking about some stuff that I wanted to talk about before we had our practice session or something like that. And so it kind of got them interested in the topic of the day for us to talk about. You could do this with, you know, pretty much anything. You could post little video clips. You can post, you know, if you wanted to have an idea of something you want to do for practice and you wanted them to be on board with it, you could post it there. And it just kind of gets their brain moving and thinking in the correct location for your practice that day. It's been really good for just straight communication. You know, we ordered some scarves, and it was really easy to post up there. Scarves are in $10 purchase. It's just been a fantastic way to get information out to our athletes and to our parents. So I know there's probably a lot of individual questions about it. I just wanted to get a quick overview over it. I'm very happy to help anybody that has any questions specifically about it. You can call, text me anytime. You can send me an email. I really think if you just go all in with the SportsYou app, it's going to be so streamlined for you for parent communication, and there's so many awesome tools that go along with this. So if anybody has any questions, I'm available right now. We can talk about it. I know I probably flew through that a little too quick, but you know, I'm really excited about this. And if you can't tell, I'm pretty passionate about SportsYou because it has really just helped my life, my program, because it's just so much easier and streamlined now. So yeah, any questions?
Hey, Jared, is there a way to move the kids from one team to another? So say you have a kid move up, you do that?
So I haven't done that yet. I haven't tried that. So let's try it together. Sorry.
That's awesome.
So you can, I don't think you can move from one group to the other. You can remove them yourself, right? But usually what I've done, and so I've only been using this since last fall. So my plan is when I go through this is I'm going to basically, I think, just archive these existing ones and then create new ones. So like the pictures and stuff like that, they're always there. You won't have to do that with like your parent group, right? Your parent group, you can just keep live always, and just, you can move members in or out that want to be there or not. So I don't think there's a way to move them from one team to the other.
If you go to members and add members, you should be able to add. If you
Well, you can.
Yeah, if you go members, add members, it should have a list of all the guys that are in, or ladies for you that are in.
Yeah. So it has all the players, but I think he was talking about trying to move from like a JVA to a JVB. Yeah. So I don't think you can do that. That's a great question. That's something I can research a lot more.
Oh, no worries. And then can you show how to do the media where they put the pictures in and make the
different? So let's say I'm I'm here. And so you have your members, right? So let me just scroll down. So you have all your parents sign up. And let's say I want to make, Austin Bridger's my assistant coach. So I just click the edit button. I can make him an admin or remove him as an admin. Let's say I would like to make one of, oops, didn't mean to do that. Sorry, got a little click happy. So let's say I want to make one of these a photographer. All you do is you hit the edit button and you can say make photographer. And so once you make them a photographer, they have access, so they can go to the media tab and they can just, let me move this around here. You can just add photos through the media tab. So it's really, really simple for them to upload. You can put videos up there. I mean, anything. It's so simple. And what I think is great too, because a lot of our parents are still, they were kind of like the Facebook generation. It's kind of laid out similarly to Facebook. So my parents have a really easy time navigating this. And it's nothing that they're not used to seeing, right?
Right. Then it looks like Roman Guthrie asked, he started using SportsYou during the pandemic, uploaded this year's photos. Athletes for some reason don't have access. What are your thoughts? How do you give the access to the pictures to all the athletes?
To all the athletes. So what I do is I have my athletes also sign up for the Tompkins Lady Falcons soccer parent group as well. So that's just our general information group, right? So I have our groups that's specifically for us to talk soccer. So it's like our JVA, our JVB, and our varsity. But for our groups, our Falcon parent group, I have our kids and our parents sign up so that the kids see, the videos and all the parent interaction as well. That's how I kind of made sure everybody had access to the photos. Yeah.
Okay, so you just made it the parent, all photos go in the parent group where everybody has access.
Yeah.
Did that answer it? He's putting it all in the chat.
Oh, let me pull the chat up.
Yeah, there's you got a couple of questions open. If you don't mind reading, I made a mistake when I first did mine on this thing and didn't read the questions out loud. And so you just get an answer without the background. So
can players or parents be added manually by using a cell phone number? Not with a cell phone number. You need to actually have them sign up through the app. That, because in Remind, you could just, put in a number and it would be able to send them messages. With this, you have to get them to actually sign up through the app. And I've found, like I said, like it's easiest to do it with the kids, like first day and say, hey, here's this, get out your phones doing it. And with the parents, it's really easy to do it at your parent meeting. I have the capabilities with my district to send an email to all of my parents in my program. So I can just send that email with that PDF and say, hey, everybody sign up. And you just hit them real hard for a couple weeks. And usually by the end of it, everybody signed up, and you just tell them that's how the information is going to be relayed. So it works out really well. Your stats for shot selection came from Huddle. Yeah, they did that shot chart. I just pulled from Huddle. And then I took a screen clip and then posted them right into SportsYou. You can take the videos from Huddle and stuff like that. And if you want to show a specific situation that you've marked up, just screen record it, and then you could put it directly into SportsYou. That way, because sometimes on Huddle, there's a lot of information and a lot of clips. And if you just want to get real specific and have them see it real quick and then be able to chat about it, this is a good option for that. You can put YouTube videos, anything like that.
So I figured out how to move them.
Oh, awesome.
If you click any given team and you go to the plus add members to the right, that big blue, the one that gives you the code.
Yes.
So you see where it says add members via friends or email. If you click that, it should have your entire list.
And then
I've done it before, and I was trying to remember how to do it. And it has everyone. Because I created 6th and 7th period and then moved those kids into the teams they made.
That's beautiful. That's really good from the beginning of the year too, before you have teams selected. So that's a really good idea.
Answers a lot. Yeah, because I was wondering the same thing, how you get your overall program and then start splitting them into groups.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. That'll make, so what you could do now is like Jimmy said, is you could have like a 6th and 7th period, and then you could just move them from 6th or 7th period to your varsity, JVA, JV2, whatever, or as soon as they make teams. It's super easy. Somebody had asked earlier about the cell phone. You can add them with an email, which is really nice, but it's just a lot easier to get them to sign up with their little code that you push with them. So awesome.
Well done. I wonder if it's a good time to go and bring everybody else in, Jimmy.
Yeah, let's go for it. And I think that another thing that I love about that too is that you control the content, right? If you're not going to have any surprises, nothing's going to pop up there that, is like, oh, this isn't good for our program, because you control what is pushed, and that's what's super cool about it for me as well.
That's awesome. And then as you see, everybody's starting to come into the group. If you have any questions, if you'll click on and go and ask Jarrett. So I'll tell you what. Well, I wish I'd known about this earlier. Like I said, this could be a lot easier. Is the district, you have a district that approves only certain social media stuff, or no?
We use Twitter a lot in our district, but it's we don't necessarily have to have it approved or anything like that. So they don't have an issue with us using SportsYou. Yeah, no.
I think it's classified as just communication versus social media. It functions like Remind, except it doesn't have a character restriction, and of course it's way more involved than Remind. So we dropped Remind as well too, when they put like the cap on the amount of people you can have in your group.
Yeah. And so the other cool thing about this too is I know there's a lot of organizations throughout the state that use it too. So you can literally get information pushed from like, I know like UIL has pushed some stuff, THSCA. And so it's always like in the loop to get information. So it is very much just your own little bubble, but you can get information from outside coming in with other groups that you join.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good. Yeah, unfortunately at our district, you only have certain things that they approve that you can communicate with kids with.
Yeah. I think SportsYou actually is catching fire here in Texas, and I think it's probably going to be a standard across the state, because our district's all in on it. I know a couple others are too. We're using it for our admins was using it for our summer strength and conditioning stuff. We're using it now for communication with the coaches. So we first started this, we loved it, and we started pushing it to the other programs in our school, and our other programs are getting into it and buying into it. And so our whole athletics facility is basically now kind of all on SportsYou, which is really cool, because now it's like it's a very easy way for all parents to have kind of the same experience, right, across programs. So it's very much the same, one team's not using this program and another team's using this program. We're all kind of using SportsYou, so it's actually worked out very well.
They did a very good job developing it too, because it resonates with all the Facebook users. It has a very Facebook feel when you're on it.
Very much so.
So parents accept it pretty easily.
And the other thing too is, we've all had those situations where, like, say a player needs to turn something in, or you need to get a hold of it immediately. It sends notifications to their phone usually. And so, it's almost like, we don't want to be texting with our players and stuff like that, but it's almost like you're texting them and they get back to you like immediately as soon as you send something. It's, as far as communication with your players and parents, it's top of the line too.
Mm-hmm. Then Andrew said that there's somebody on YouTube that's asking if there's a limit to the number of teams you can create.
I don't think so. I'm up to I think 5 teams and like 4 groups. I don't think there's a number limit. If there is, I haven't experienced it yet. It's not a problem I've run across. So, and I had another person I was talking to about this. They actually made, like, within the teams, they made other teams. So they made like a forwards group, a midfielders group, a defensive group, and you can just push information to those groups as well. And so it's real easy when you want to send a message, you just click on what group you want to send those messages to. So I do not think there is a limit on the number of groups you can make or teams.
I use the skill my group function as well. So I have 6th period, 7th period at the start, and then once we make teams, they get pushed to those teams. And then this summer, I created a skills group, and I created the codes into all those teams. And now ones that wanted to be in the skills session group are in there, so it's really easy.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of freedom with how you want to go about organizing it. And there's so many awesome ways to do it. And I think they haven't really limited you to just doing it one way, right? It's pretty awesome. And, if anybody is if they sign up with it and they have a question about how to do something, I'll put my information back up here, and we'll put that slideshow, I guess, in the resources, Coach Cottle. But don't hesitate to email or text me. Like I would be happy to help with anything if you have any questions. So.
Gotcha. And then give me a second. I'll put up the links for joining the group. All right. Does anybody else have any other questions in the group? All right. Well, I guess with that good time, I appreciate you taking the time to put this together. Like I said, I will go ahead and as soon as you send me the forms, I will put it the Google Slides. I'll put that in the webinar access, then to our webinar resource page. But I appreciate you taking the time. I know I'm going to be using this, and it's unbelievably informative. I sure appreciate it. It was something I guess we could all use. So I appreciate it on this. And then once again, I wish you guys a happy 4th of July. That was really good. Thanks, Jared. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys.
With that being said, look forward to seeing you guys next week at 9 a.m. Dennis, I'll tell you what, this has been an amazing session. Every week, I think I could grow even better and bigger and better in all the things we've learned. This has been a really good session. Thank you all for your time and your showing up.